All right, check, check, audio check.
Hello, Brian. Are you there?
Sorry, I had my mic gain all the way down.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for inviting me to the party. I think I will, of course, join the SRL pod in a couple minutes.
Yeah, I just this time I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna get in front of it. If
Yeah, just in case you're
yeah,
already expecting me to crash.
yeah, that way you could just jump in and we're good to go.
Oh, well, good to hear that the expectations
No,
are as
it's
low
not.
as always.
It's just don't want to be caught off guard.
Yeah, of course, of course. I was like already, wow, you've got an invite already to the commentary box. You're just expecting it. But no, I hope I'll reach the finish line this time. I do like this track, but I hope it's gonna rain. I think that would be my best shot, to be honest. But
There
probably
hasn't
won't.
been a lot of rain so far this season, I feel like,
Yeah,
so
but it is Great Britain, so you'd expect it
yeah,
to be a higher chance.
it would be make for something interesting at least.
Yeah, but no, yeah. Hopefully, it's gonna be an interesting race for you as well to commentate on, and maybe we'll speak after the race or something. But I think I'll
Sure.
join the other guys now.
All right. Yeah,
So
have a good
good luck
race.
with the stream, and
Same to you.
thanks, man. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
See you.
Hello, hello, and welcome to SRL round 13 of season 9. It is the British Grand Prix, one of the most famous and well-loved tracks in the world. It is Silverstone. My name is Bryan Kessler. We've got a great grid for you today of drivers. Jenson Randall in the Aston Martin will be driving today. Nicolo Falzaresi, the Italian in the Alfa Romeo, as well, and the American Logan Oren. Sandro Dulis in the Ferrari. We have all of the top of the grid drivers in action today. We'll get started first with some qualifying, because you have Falzaresi out there already to take you through the loop here at Silverstone. You're going to be early on the power, cut that corner just as you saw Nico do there. Down the Wellington Straight. One of the trickiest braking sections on the season here around Brooklyn. And get it as straight as you can coming out of that awkward curve to be on the tower into Kopp's corner here. Keep it in 7th, flat out there for Nico. Maggots and Beckett's. Nothing but famous sections here at Silverstone. The Hanger Straight into Stowe coming up. And that'll do it. Just about. A few more turns coming into Vale and Club. As I wrestle with my cat. But it's Falzaresi with a qualifying lap. One of the first out there, Koivuniemi, getting a tester down in intermediates. Here we go. For the man who's not a point leader, he's currently 5th in the standings, but you have to think a real threat to win today. The Italian driver Nicolo Falzaresi. So far this season, 7 starts, 3 victories. A second place finish to go along with those podiums in more than half of the races he started. Only Jenson Randall with a better proportion of race starts and finishes. Jenson, of course, 9 rounds so far this season, 6 wins, 3 second place finishes. He's never finished below P2 in season 9 of SRL. Nicolo Falzaresi, just a couple more turns to go. We're looking for times probably in the 125, 126 range. He'll be the first to put up a time, and it will be a 125.7 for the Italian driver. Well done to him. The Aston Martin of Alexei Koivuniemi again on the intermediates, getting the setup down. Meanwhile, on board with Nick Van Gelder, erstwhile commentator here at SRL. We heard him on the mics last week with me. Told me he is a fan of the track, hopes to be doing well. Was a good sport about getting an invite from me from commentary already for this day. He comes around a 127.1. Not bad for a first lap thrown down. The other Red Bull Dutchman, Eric Elgersma, as he comes around Stowe. Get some lap data here. And he'll be a 126 flat. Nice first lap for El Gersma. Jensen Randall, provisional pole at the moment, 125.2, half a second clear of Nicolo Falzaresi. Portuguese driver Ivan Brito. You saw him going through Kops there. Maggots and Beckett's here. Looks like we'll have to go off coming out of Maggots and Beckett's into Chapel. That will be an invalidation. And you see what looks like the AlphaTauri behind him. Is that going to be Senna? It is Senna Hervire. I'm impressed Senna stayed behind Brito through Maggots and Beckett's. Going to compromise the downforce with the dirty air, but a 127.4 for Senna puts him P11 at the moment. Outlap for the other Alpha, Noah Rosso Abia. Strong performances so far this season. He gets around the Mercedes of Ivan Brito. We'll see what he can do on the softs in the Alpha. Sounds like he's still warming up the brakes, perhaps. Coming out of Maggots and Beckett's and into Chapel. It can be so easy to get that apex wrong, and as we saw earlier in the Red Bull, just go a little wide, send yourself into the grass or on the runoff pavement. On board with the Spanish driver. We'll go full throttle, and here we go. Coming into turn one, that's an easy flat out right there. Position yourself well. Coming into the next series of turns. Here, you want to go inside, stay in the middle. Because you're going to be making a left-hander immediately. Most drivers will clip that corner about that much. You don't want to hit the red curves. And then down Wellington straight here. A tricky braking zone. Well done there for also Abia. And then here it can be easy to lose the back end. You want to get early on the power right here. Shoot for that green curb on the outside. And then of course Kops. Qualifying trim. You hear a slight lift there from also Abia. And Maggots and Beckett's. Sounded like maybe a brake or a lift there. Some drivers will go into those flat out if you can get the car nice and straight, and then just some quick downshifts to get through. And then here into Stowe. Really takes a lot of that curb. Doesn't disrupt the car. Coming in, there was an invalidation for Noah Rosso Abia. And does not want to exceed pit lane limits. Logan Orn, the American driver, has raced in every round of SRL this season. Only Sandro Dulis, Vincenzo Torre, Dion Stahl, and Ivan Brito can say the same. P2 in the standings, 70 points right now behind Jensen Randall. Does have a win on the season. 6 podiums total. Logan Orn gets the lap started, and here we go. Doesn't have a time yet. 125.2 from Jensen Randall is still the time to beat. Falzaresi has improved his own time by about 0.3, but still a tenth and a half behind Jensen Randall. Coming into Brooklyn's purple sector for Logan Oren. Around Copse, we'll see what he can do coming into Maggots and Beckett's here. Hear the difference there. There's the downshift. Another break and downshift around Chapel. Well done for him. Another purple sector for Logan Oren. Can he keep up that momentum and take provisional pole here? It's going to be a good time. 1:25.7. So comfortably P3 at the moment. About where Falzaresi's first lap was. But Jensen Randall still looking comfortable on pole right now. Rosso Abia gonna try it again. Fresh set of soft tires for him. As he enters the loop. Entering one of two DRS zones on Wellington Straight, the other being on the Hanger Straight. Around Copse. Excuse me, coming up around Copse, that was Woodcott. And this may be where he invalidated before, it was Maggots and Beckett's. So Raza Abia P11 after the 126.5 we saw. Off camera happening with Freya Balai, a 125.3. So the driver's starting to approach Jensen Randall's 125.2. Nice to see Balai come back strong in the McLaren. Dutch driver Borbune, P6 in the Haas 125.9. First time driver SRL this season. A lot of drivers going to the pit lane. Jensen Randall on his way out, looking to defend the pole position just in case track evolution sees drivers such as this man, Nicola Falzaresi, improve, but Running into the grass. Down hanger straight. Should be able to get the tires clear of any debris before he starts what would probably be his last qualifying lap. Unless he wants to run 2 in a row on these softs. Nico underway. You'll be able to see the comparison to his previous lap, the 1:25.4 in the upper right. And for me, it's right here in the loop that I seem to lose most of my time. But Falzaresi seems to get through it just fine. We're going to get a good comparison here as he completes Sector 1. It is just about even for him. Approximately 1/100th of an improvement for the driver. Around cops for him into Maggots and Beckett's. There you go, nice and straight, flat out on the first part. And then a downshift for each of the final 2 parts of Maggots and Beckett's. About half a tenth improvement for Falzaresi now. Would be enough for P2 above Freya Belay. But Belay and Jenson Randall both on outlaps of their own. You see the Aston Martin appearing in front of Nico now. But his lap nearly over, shouldn't be a distraction. He'll cross. It is an improvement, 1:25.38. So just behind Freya Belay. Nicolo Falzaresi will do no better than P3 today. Jenson Randall coming up to finish the first sector. Half a tenth behind the time that it's currently giving him provisional pole. We're on board with Freya Belay, who has, as you can see in Sector 1, half a second improvement? No, looks about even. That makes more sense. Not sure whose split we saw there. But a quirk of the spectating system. Belay needs less than a tenth. Has the advantage of being on a lap just after Jenson Randall. The purple Sector 2 for Belay. Jenson Randall does improve his time, finds in Sectors 2 and 3 a little bit of space to improve by nearly a tenth. Freya Belay comes around the last turn. It's going to be a 125, 184. So by 9 thousandths of a second, Freya Belay has provisional pole. What a lap for him. Dion Stahl looking to improve on P15. Unable to do so. And the driver's starting to finish up here. Finnish driver Jesper Limpinen in the AlphaTauri. Does improve. P5 start for him. And I have no way of verifying it for sure, but it feels like the best qualifying session of the season for Limpinen. As he finds himself sandwiched between Logan Arndt and Alexei Koivuniemi, 2 very strong drivers. But it's Freya Belay, pole position here at Silverstone. That will be his first pole of the season, so well done to the Ethiopian driver. Freya Bly, Jensen Randall, Nicola Falzaresi, Logan Oren, Jesper Limpinen, and Alexei Koivuniemi. Your front three rows. Max Mulder, 1v1 champion from January here at Silverstone, P10 in the Alpine. Dulis, after a great bit of strategy last week, staying out there on some old tires at the Canadian Grand Prix, finding himself a little bit farther back in the grid than we might have expected. And here we go for the first time all season, Freya Bly leading the formation lap. See hard tire compound for P1 through P5. Koivuniemi in P6. The only person in top 8 to run on something different. He'll be on the medium compound. Max Mulder, I mentioned the winner of the 1v1 tournament, won 4 races in a row. He'll be on the soft compounds. Dulis Van Gelder, Raza Abia, Brito, your other medium compound runners. We saw many safety cars at the Canadian Grand Prix last week. I'm sure drivers will be looking to avoid having so many again. But certainly the runners of the softer compounds then seem to be the beneficiaries of all those safety cars. Haven't seen a lot of rain this season in SRL. It is the Great Britain GP. Certainly a chance for some rain. 26 laps. And we'll see if drivers came prepared with a setup that could be workable in the rain. Nice view there of the front wing of the McLaren of Freya Bly. Warming the tires, warming the brakes. We'll be looking to get some clear space, keep that clear space ahead of him going into the flat out turn 1 here at Silverstone. And Koivuniemi on the mediums is going to be looking to make waves early on, but the drivers are getting in position. Sandwiched by the orange McLarens, Freya Bly in the front, Robin Hertzschadhagen in the back. The lights are on. Freya Bly, the revs are up. And it's lights out. We're racing at the Silverstone Grand Prix here in Britain. Freya Bly gets away well. Jensen Randall going to tug in behind him. Logan Orend already up to P3. Nicolo Falzaresi, P4. Algersma making moves on the hard compound himself. See the drivers getting situated, coming out of the loop. Now we'll have the first straight as Someone goes very wide. I believe that's going to be Senna Hervire in the AlphaTauri. Car is still driving. He comes up and will rejoin the pack here. Nice straight line coming into Copse. And then Maggots and Beckett's. Let's hope everyone can keep it clean here. We saw different strategies in qualifying going through this part of the track. Looking good for Elgarisma and Falzaresi. Koivuniemi just behind in the Aston. We go into another straight. Jensen Randall still looking around Freya Belay. And Elgarisma looking to get the move to stick against Logan Orand, and maybe a little bit of contact. Keeps it together. P4 for Elgarisma. And coming into the loop, again, strange braking zones. The lines can be compromised, but getting through all right now. And you can ignore the splits as you see them. Jensen Randall is obviously not a lap behind Freya Belay. But as Jensen Randall so often is going to do, just trying to keep his nose clean, stay out of everything happening behind him. Hard compound tires, he's going to be looking to take this stint as far as he can and finish strong later on softer compounds. The Alpine of Max Mulder now coming out of left field. He'll rejoin. Meanwhile, Freya Belay is starting to make a little room behind him. The top half of the grid starting to spread out a little bit. It's always the first couple laps that are a little tricky. .129 flat for Freya Belay. That would have been the fastest time in the 1v1 tournament by about half a second. And now the splits starting to be a little more accurate. A full second for Freya Belay in front of Jensen Randall. Logan Orand looking to make a move perhaps on the Red Bull. And Koivuniemi, so far not able to get much done on the medium compounds, but Sandro Dulis has moved up a couple spots. Nice shot there of Kopp's corner. Koivuniemi a little wide coming out of it. You do run that risk early on, especially. You see Logan Orand getting, it looks like maybe a little caught up, or maybe some lag spikes through Maggots and Beckett's. Some drivers will take the first two curves flat out before downshifting in the final half of Maggots and Beckett's. Logan Orand does get the move done, though. Through Stowe, he gets the move done at P4 for Logan Orand. And a little wiggle there. Don't know if there was contact or just connectivity issues, but he's up into P4. DRS is enabled. Jensen Randall has closed the gap to be within DRS range. We joined him at about the time of the DRS detection. You see the rear wing open there. So it's race management time for Jensen Randall, and he's one of the best at it. And in the loop, Logan Orand, Eric Elgarisma continue to battle for P4. And I'm sure Koivuniemi and Dulis happy to see that in front of them, having the tire advantage. as they're about to go through Chapel and they'll get DRS. Max Mulder from the pit lane will retire. We'll join Even Brito here and see Enrico Abia side by side coming out of Stowe. Brito's going to have the inside line, but then it goes to the outside on the very next turn. And now Dion Stahl appearing on screen. The battle for P10, separated by about a quarter of a second for all four drivers here. Just about nose on the diffuser for all four. And this battling has put them about 5 seconds behind Jesper Limpinen in P9. Brito and Abia on the softer tires compared to Dion Stahl. So a nice battle there happening a little bit farther back than we've been spectating so far. Your top four currently, no surprises: Freya Balai, Jensen Randall, Nicolo Falzaresi, Logan Oren. You see top three especially, the gap building. Logan Oren and Eric Elgarsma continue this dogfight here for P4. Dutch driver Borbune here in the Haas. He's got Sandro Dulis in his sights, but I think on the hard compound, the strategy for now is just stay in the slipstream, use that DRS. He's on a different strategy, so no need to fight. It appears the AlphaTauri of Senna Hervire coming out of Stowe. Stowe has been claiming a lot of drivers so far. The battle for P10 continues here. Dion Stahl, Noah Rosso Abia, Even Brito, Nick Van Gelder. They've now, through this battling, gone about 7.5 seconds behind Jesper Limpinen. As the Spaniard, Rosso Abia, does get the pass done on Even Brito. Nice shot there through Maggots and Beckett's. Your race leader currently, Jensen Randall. Sorry to have missed it, but starting lap 7, Jensen Randall, the race leader now. Logan Oren is still within DRS of top 3 currently. So the gap closing from Falzaresi to Logan Oren. We go on the straight with DRS, Nicolo Falzaresi. He's just going to stay tucked in behind Freya Balai coming into the loop. Looking to the outside there, but it can be difficult to get anything done there through Brooklands and Luffield. Coming around Cops into Maggots and Beckett's. DRS detection will be here, but they won't get DRS until they hit the straight. And can Falzaresi make the move on Freya Balai? Balai also has DRS. And Nico never really gave an indication of looking for an overtake, so I think we'll pick his moment, but it won't be in Sector 3. Now Logan Oren and Ergorsma have really closed the gap. It is, as you see, 5 cars in the battle for the race lead here. We are 8 laps in, close to a third of the race done. Coming around Wellington here. Freyabelai kind of peaked to the inside. But it is now Jensen Randall leading the race and a bit of a DRS train here. Dulis, Koivuniemi, medium compounds, P6 and P7, about 2 seconds from this group of cars we're spectating right now. The McLaren of Freyabelai started on pole, led for about 5.5, 6 laps. Going to get the overtake done there on Jensen Randall coming into Stowe. Jensen Randall not fighting that at all. So perhaps the cars out in front working with each other. I think Jensen Randall more willing than just about anyone else to switch positions, allow himself to get a bit more battery. Freyabelai must really be pushing though, because he's 0.8 ahead after just taking the lead in Stowe. Freyabelai now 0.9, really, I think, looking to break free of this pack. But surely Jensen Randall, Nicolo Falzaresi, Orend, and Elgersma are going to be good on battery. You got a quick peek of the battery there from Jensen Randall. He'll take this opportunity to get ready for any moves he needs to make. So far, an uneventful race compared to Canada. No safety cars. Skies are nice and sunny for now. Drivers need to be careful. Looks like an AlphaTauri here on the left side coming into Maggots and Beckett's. But well clear of the track. No issue there. Sandro Dulis there. In the background, you saw the red Ferrari. He and Koivuniemi have closed the gap to the hard runners by about half. Just outside DRS range now for Dulis. Dulis, the leader of his own little DRS train. Koivuniemi, Bune, and Limpinen behind them, and then about 10 seconds behind Limpinen, that battle for P10. So little pockets forming, action staying all around the track. Jensen Randall briefly looked inside, just letting Freyabelai know he's still there. And we're seeing a much different race than in Canada. Drivers thinking more long-term. Felt like it was just safety car to safety car last week. You hear the throttle, Jensen Randall off, on, off, on. Coming around Stowe here. As Logan Oren looked to make a move on Falzaresi. He'll tuck back in, but briefly side by side. So Logan Oren, the first to kind of disrupt this team of 5 in front. And it might have been an attempt at an overtake. Now he's kind of fallen behind Falzaresi slightly, still within DRS range. into left field. Everyone content now, especially everyone P1 through P5 on the same compound. Can't win the race on lap 11, but they all know you can lose it on lap 11. Nice shot there again. So well done for Logan Oren and Algarisma to make their way back up to the DRS train, now led by Freya Balai again. And it does appear to be Jensen Randall, Freya Balai switching positions here. First in the pits, Falzaresi. Jesper Limpinen also in the pits. So that's an early stop, but might be trying to go the rest of the way on mediums. We'll see if the undercut is on for Nicolo Falzaresi. But I don't think the other hard compound runners will be looking to pit anytime soon. Of course, seeing Nico duck in might have changed the calculus for them. Falzaresi coming out P11. So a lot of the drivers in that battle for P10 also pitting. So a lot more open space there for Falzaresi now than there had been before. And as they come through the hangar straight and out of stow, we'll see if anyone in the top four here who had been on the same strategy as Falzaresi, if they'll take a pit. Freya Balai kind of looked like he was faking it, but Logan Orend, I believe, going in. Yes, indeed. Dulis also going in, and we'll get on board with Nicolo Falzaresi to see where he comes out in relation to those drivers. Jensen Randall takes the lead again after all of the pit hubbub there, I guess. Falzaresi P10. The pit exit coming up for Nico. And indeed, Nico coming out ahead of Logan Orr and Sander Dulis. The undercut is on for him. No DRS for Nico, but Nick Van Gelder coming up in front of him. He'll be looking to get it. Randall, Balai, Algarisma, if they're paying attention to the timing table, they've seen the undercut is on. How does that affect their planned pit strategy? As coming out of stow here, we'll see who ducks into the pit lane, if anyone. And Jensen is going. So Freya, oh, they're all three going. Borbune also going. That means your new race leader is Alexei Koivuniemi for now. So one Aston Martin gives way to another. We'll see where everyone comes out in relation to Falzaresi here, because this will really tell us if the undercut's on. So Koivuniemi, top of the table currently, but it's Falzaresi who's really going to tell us who to keep an eye on for the race lead. And sure enough, the undercut was on. Logan Orend comes out of the pit lane about a half a second behind Falzaresi. It's a provisional race leader, the Italian. So Logan Orend coming out ahead of Jensen Randall, ahead of Freya Balai. For Koivuniemi not having pitted earlier, I don't know how reasonable a medium-soft strategy is. But he might have lost the optimal opportunity to pit earlier. As Nico through Maggots and Beckett's, his tires will be up to temperature. The tires of Jensen Randall, Logan Orend, and others. Wow, Logan Orend, I say that, but Logan Orend makes it look easy there around Nicolo Falzaresi. So Logan Orend now provisional race leader. So the undercut on for Nico, but on a set of older medium tires. Logan Orend able to get the overtake done. P2 on the table, but provisional race leader, as Koivuniemi has yet to make a pit stop. You see Koivuniemi going around left field now. Nicolo Falzaresi just a couple tenths behind Logan Orend. Jensen Randall a couple seconds behind Falzaresi. Keep an eye on the mini-map for Koivuniemi, who is going into the hanger straight just now. Lap 15 of 26 here at Silverstone. Provisional race leader is Logan Orend. We're on board with Nicolo Falzaresi. Current leader in the points standings, provisional P3, Jensen Randall and the Aston Martin, a couple seconds behind these two. Koivuniemi does pit. As Logan Orend, no longer just provisional race leader, but now your actual on the timing table race leader, as Freya Balai puts in a 128.1 on the medium compound. Koivuniemi going to go the rest of the way on the soft compounds, coming out just behind Sandro Dulis in P8. So we'll be looking to see what damage Koivuniemi can do. He's on a unique strategy to the rest of the field. Medium to softs. Dion Stahl yet to pit on the hards. He'll probably be switching to softs himself. Falzaresi and Orend a couple seconds in front of Jensen Randall, who you see in the background just coming into view as we go through Copse Corner into Maggots and Beckett's. And with the pits, the gaps have started to spread a little. We had 3 nice tight clusters of cars earlier. And this is the closest battle. You see 5 cars on screen coming through Hanger Straight. Nicolo Falzaresi able to get the race lead coming out of Maggots and Beckett's though. So Italian driver Nicolo Falzaresi had been provisional race leader before Koivuniemi pitted. Then Logan Orend on a screamer of an outlap got back in front of him. But it is the Italian driver again, Nicolo Falzaresi. P5 in the standings, but only because he was not able to participate in the first few rounds. We're just over the halfway point of the season. He'll need plenty of wins to have a shot at dethroning Jensen Randall, who's 70 points clear of P2 right now. And speaking of Jensen Randall, he has closed the gap to P2. It had been about 2 seconds, now just about to enter DRS range. And DRS detection zone right there. Jensen Randall was pretty much at 1 second flat behind Logan Orend. As we go into the Hanger Straight, we'll see, yes, he did indeed get DRS. Well done for Jensen Randall. as Logan Oren looks to the inside again at Stowe, and I think he and Nico have been switching positions at Stowe for the last few laps. So Jensen Randall, race leader again, as we're about to complete lap 17. Jensen Randall sticking the wing in. And now these four very close. Freya Belay there, coming into the loop. Not a lot of room to spare for anyone. Jensen Randall trying to get the move done in the loop. He'll have the inside. He gives way to Nico. I think he knows the exit more important there because he'll have DRS, can get the overtake done. And he does. Nicolo Falzaresi now having to fend off Freya Belay. No DRS here coming into Copse. It is a nice straight, but no DRS until they get through Maggots and Beckett's. Well, Jensen Randall coming out of Chapel. Will he try for a move into Stowe? Randall's usually seems content to save a move for the latter part of the race, but he does. He goes inside around Stowe. An easy peasy pass that will stick for Jensen Randall. And the action has been at Stowe for the last few laps now. Jensen Randall, race leader. Nico and Logan Oren still battling in P2. Side by side coming out of the last turn. Freya Belay still there waiting. As Jensen Randall takes advantage of the battles. Already a half second ahead. Freya Belay, Logan Oren. We've seen it so many times, these two battling. They just find themselves side by side so often in SRL. Are we going to see more fireworks between these two? As Freya Belay gets the move done into Luffield here. And Elgersma now, the one at the end of the train, looking to capitalize on a mistake from Logan Oren. Through Copse Corner. Coming out of Chapel into the straight. Are we going to see another overtake going into Stowe? I would say Logan Oren has the best opportunity, the smallest gap. But no, this time everyone will stay in their positions. And if you're Freya Belay, you can see what we can see. That is the flashing light of Nicolo Falzaresi. The battery depleted for him. As we start lap 20. Things are really starting to pick up here. No more pit stops. At least none expected. Belay, you can see pushing, trying to brake as late as he can. Downforce is going to be compromised in the slipstream of Nicolo Falzaresi, who we saw the wiggle from Jensen Randall. Coming out of the loop, and Nicolo Falzaresi into Brooklands, and Luffield is going to get the overtake done. New race leader, Nicolo Falzaresi. Capitalizing on just the slight bit of wiggle for Jensen Randall. So the man who needs points to keep climbing the table, in good position to get them here. And the top four positions shuffling around as we get into the home stretch of the British Grand Prix here. Apologies to the rest of the field, but there's been so much action up front. As there's never fewer than 4 cars on screen at any point. Nicolo Falzaresi in the Alpha. Aston Martin is Jensen Randall. Freya Belay, the Ethiopian driver, in the McLaren. Logan Oren in the Haas. Eric Elgersma in the Red Bull. Lap 21 underway here. Everybody except Nico will have DRS coming out of the loop here. Into Wellington Straight. On board with Jensen Randall. The tricky braking zone there of Brooklands and coming out of left field here. All 5 of these drivers have been sharp to this point. Only a slight bit of oversteer for Jensen Randall a lap ago has really shifted the race lead. We'll have DRS again. Stowe has been where most of the overtakes have occurred for these 5 drivers. No one obviously flashing coming in to the straight here. Looks like Freya Belay took a quick peek inside at Stowe. But everyone will stay pat. Just 5 laps remaining here. Nicolo Falzaresi on the oldest tires. He did pit first. The undercut was on. But since then, it has been just about everyone we've been watching on screen at least taking 1 lap or so as the race leader. We've seen Freya Belay, we've seen Jensen Randall, Nicolo Falzaresi, and Logan Orand all leading the race at some point since the pits. Freya Belay looks like trying to get that overtake done. Peeking inside here and there. We'll see what happens coming out of the hangar straight into Stowe. Here we are. Hangar straight, Stowe. Everyone. Ooh, Jensen Randall. A quick move to the inside and then thought better of it. I think sees Falzaresi's ERS light flashing. Nice camera there on the wing of Jensen Randall in the Aston Martin. 4 laps remaining, lap 23 at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. And they can't all make a move at the same time, but so far it's been a pretty static top 5 for the last 3 laps or so. Big points available. Freya Belay hadn't been able to race in the last few rounds. Win would be huge for him. Again, the ERS of Falzaresi, that light is flashing as we go around Copse here. And we'll just see Stowe 4 more times. So the opportunity's starting to run out. The Aston Martin, the McLaren have taken looks inside. A little defensive there for Falzaresi. So Nico starting to feel the pressure, but around the outside, it's Jensen Randall. Jensen Randall, race leader on lap 23. The ERS light of Falzaresi has been flashing. Logan Orand and Freya Belay, meanwhile, going side by side. And Elgersma looking to take advantage. So Elgersma, he'll be coming into turn 1 in P3. Well done for him. He had been so patient to this point, and now he's on track for a podium. I don't think there's a bigger on-track rivalry than Freya Belay and Logan Orand, and Eric Elgersma just took clear advantage of that to get himself into a podium position. Nico now looking inside, coming into the loop. 2.5 laps remaining. Nico gets the overtake done. Jensen Randall, Nicolo Falzaresi now a second ahead of Eric Elgersma. Quite a bit of time for Elgersma to get back into DRS detection, though. But lots of excitement with just over 2 laps to go. Faltaresi, again, that ERS light is flashing. Jensen Randall's been behind him for so long. You have to believe Jensen Randall has the battery advantage. A little wiggle there from Nico. The tires might be dirty. Jensen Randall, I think, should have this move. He'll go to the outside again. Nico's been taking the inside line. And yes, through the outside around Stowe, it's Jensen Randall. And if they keep leapfrogging every lap like this, with 2 more laps to go, Jensen Randall would be the beneficiary there. Lap 25, penultimate lap here at Silverstone. Lots of action in top 5. Logan Orend had been P3, looking to make a move earlier. Now P5, but still well within reach of a podium here. Everyone in DRS range. And it's just been small mistakes on exits that have led to the overtakes. Elgersma there, you see, right on the diffuser of Nicolo Faltaresi. Elgersma's had a fantastic race. Just patiently waiting, taking the opportunities that other drivers are giving him. As he's right on Nico. Yeah, that might be dangerous going into Maggots and Beckett's to get side by side there. And as a result, Freya Belay gets the overtake done on Elgersma. Not only that, but builds a little bit of space between Belay and Elgersma and Oren. So Elgersma going for it. Maggots and Beckett's not really an overtaking opportunity. And unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be harder for him to get back to the podium. Jensen Randall will start lap 26 with the race lead. Was able to get the overtake done at Stowe yet again on lap 24. And he'll be looking to stay in front for the rest of the lap. Because if he loses the race lead at Stowe, I don't think there's any way to regain it. Freya Belay comfortably in P3, a second and a half to Elgersma behind him. Logan Orend P5. Borbune in P6, the other Haas. A nice first race so far for him in P6. So Faltaresi will be looking to keep it clean through Copse and Maggots and Beckett's here because Stowe is where everything's been happening. Jensen Randall not one to make mistakes, although we did see a bit of oversteer earlier and Nico was able to capitalize and jump on that opportunity very quickly. Here we are. Hanger straight. Going to be the last opportunity for Nicolo Faltaresi. That light is flashing. It looks like Jensen Randall's not going to be challenged going into Stowe. Freya Belay in P3, Elgersma P4, and Logan Orend P5. It looks like for all the action, sometimes they're easy for him. Sometimes it's something he's got to really battle through. But Jensen Randall is going to come across start-finish in P1. What a race. Nicolo Faltaresi in P2. Freya Belay, welcome back to the podium. And a great race from Eric Elgersma in P4. Logan Orend and the other Haas Borbune P5 and P6. Whew, what a race. Take a breather if you need to. But it has been quite some time since SRL has seen 5 drivers all with a strong chance of taking the race for that many laps in a row. Calm and collected as always was Jensen Randall. Takes the race lead back on lap 24 and able to keep it. Freya Belay back to the podium, first race back in a bit. And Nicolo Faltaresi not going to gain any points on Jensen Randall, but is going to continue his climb up the points standings. As Robin Hertzstadthagen in the other McLaren will come around. The last car to cross start finish here. And that will do it for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. What a race. Can't argue with the game giving driver of the day to Nicolo Falzaresi, but I think there were a lot of candidates. But it is yet again a driver in the Aston Martin suit on top of the podium. That is Jenson Randall, his home race, taking P1, Nicolo Falzaresi, P2, and Freya Belay in P3. The McLaren's back on the podiums here. Well, that'll do it for round 13 of season 9 of SRL. No race next week, so join us in 2 weeks for the Hungarian Grand Prix. This was a fun race. I encourage you, if you came in near the end, you can, of course, watch the broadcast from the very start. But for my money, probably the most exciting SRL race of the season. It's been fun. My name is Bryan Kessler. We will catch you again in 2 weeks for the Hungarian Grand Prix, round 14.